Hey guys, Tanner Flowers here coming to you once again from Cleveland, Tennessee, and I've got a koi pond customer that's kind of in a real predicament. You see, my customer had koi fish, and 2 of them inside this pond you're getting ready to see are more than 10 years old. And she was selling her home here in Cleveland, Tennessee, and literally on closing day, they had to quickly excavate the hole that you see behind me in order to fill it with water to put her koi fish inside so that she could save her fish. And other than the power head that you see flowing there behind me and the bulb filter right here, there is no other filtration currently on this pond. And proper fish care always begins with proper filtration. And you'll see this large island of rock right here behind me, and my customer cannot wait to begin stacking that all the way around her pond. She's already been muscling loads of it over here around the place, getting everything staged. But before these rocks can begin being stacked inside the pond, we've got to begin the installation of the proper components for the safety of these fish. And that installation starts right here with our Atlantic PS 7000 skimmer. And once I get this little jewel right here installed, you're not going to believe how hard this Atlantic TT 6000 pump is going to be pulling this water inside this right here skimmer. And once that water is inside that skimmer, we're going to be sending it right over here to our Atlantic BF 2600 filter falls, and you guys are going to love the waterfall coming outside of this. And what I've got to do next is get my service pump out of the brute trash can and begin pumping water inside those containers right there so that I'll be able to fold the liner forward in order to be able to break ground. And I've now filled both of these containers full of water before I began allowing the water to flow outside the pond so that I can reuse that water inside the pond once I'm ready to fill it back up. You can see now how I have dropped the water level, as well as I have rolled the liner and underlayment forward in order for me to get to right here where I need to break ground, as well as roll the liner all the way around back over here to the filter falls return in order for me to dig the trench for our new plumbing line, as well as the hole needed for the waterfalls return itself. I have just now finished the excavation for the filter falls, and I will be going down inside the left of the unit. Right down here you will see that guide point right there. That is where I will be drilling in for our 2-inch PVC line. But now let me go over there, dig in our skimmer before I start digging in our trench for the 2-inch PVC flex line. Okay, I've now etched me out an outline right here around the skimmer. It's time for me to set it back here to the side and grab the shovel and start excavating our ground for our skimmer installation. I forgot to mention, guys, before I set that in place, I did tamp all the soil inside that hole that I dug, and I am doing the same right now inside this hole that I just dug for this skimmer right here. I have now positioned the skimmer down inside its hole. I still have to level it up, and I'm getting ready to begin digging the trench to go around here to the filter falls connection. And I mentioned it moments ago, but right down here, you will see the placement for the hole saw, which is what I will be doing next now that I have finished digging the trench for the flex 2-inch PVC line. And then right over here on the back side of the skimmer, you will see the same spot. And I'm trying to bring you guys close up with me right now. Focus your attention right here on this upper hole. And that is where I'm getting ready to drill that with my 2.5-inch hole saw. Just line your bit up right there where it's got the place for it. And there you go. Just like that. And when you try to give your customers everything you got, be sure you got a little bit of sandpaper on hand with you to go back and sand the edges of the hole that you just cut. And we are definitely going to be installing a Triton check valve by Atlantic on this brand new Atlantic TT6000. And what you're going to do is thread this piece right here that comes with your check valve right here onto your TT6000. And then you're going to reference these numbers right here that are going up this pipe. And once you've made your cut, you just want to hand tighten this back down onto your pump. That's tight enough. And then you want to go ahead and prime your top piece here, getting ready to glue it to the remainder of your Triton check valve. Let me tilt this over this way. Try not to get this here on the truck. So I'm just priming this right now, getting ready to glue it. And I'm also going to prime right here inside the bottom of the check valve. And now that I've gotten both ends primed, I'm going to be taking Christie's Red Hot Blue Glue and gluing both ends together. And the final piece that we'll be using on our check valve installation is this right here. And this is where it's going to actually slide in from the hole that we drilled with a hole saw. And I will plumb this into here, and then our black flex line will go into here. And then once your plumbing is complete and you have your pump in place, it's time to set your skimmer box down inside your hole and then make sure you've gotten it level. And let me go ahead and tell you, I've got this one right here, just like I do everything else, absolutely perfect. Here is the bulkhead attachment that installs to the filter falls, and I'm getting ready to go over there and cut that in with a 3-inch hole saw. One thing I love about all of our Atlantic products is how we have the choice to install these lines wherever we want to. And seeing as how I'm going to have this 2-inch flex coming around right into here, I'm going to choose to drill my hole right here with a hole saw in this preset placement point right here at this bottom corner. And you guys may be able to see this on camera, and all you want to do is line your drill bit up right there at that point. Just like that. And after you have finished drilling your hole with your hole saw and you get your bulkhead threads through the hole, you want to first put on some black silicone on these threads before you screw on the other end of your bulkhead. And then once you've gotten all of your silicone in place, you just got to make sure you got everything tight with your big channel locks. And once I've gotten it tight, I'll then take this adapter that's going to accept the 2-inch flex PVC, and I will also put a little bit of silicone around these threads as well before I tighten it to the bulkhead fitting. And once you've gotten your silicone on there, just gently thread it into place. And then I'll take the channel locks and tighten it up just a little bit more. And then once you've gotten it nice and tight, I like to go back and wipe any excess silicone off of my fittings. Now let me show you guys something right here with the filter falls installation. Remember, over there with the skimmer, you get it level left to right and level front to back. Over here with the filter falls, when you put your level on it left to right, you want to make sure you got it centered up there, which I do. But whenever you turn it front to back, you want to make sure that that level is leaning a little bit towards the pond to ensure that the water falls over the waterfalls and never is able to fall back over the back side of your filter falls. Now that the bulkhead is attached, the filter falls is leveled and a little bit tilted forward. The skimmer is leveled left to right and front to back. It is now time to run the 2-inch PVC flex line, and I'm getting ready to primer and glue it right here. Run it along the trench over to there, cut it and prime it and glue it over there, and I'll show it all to you when it's finished. Everything is now plumbed just like I want it to be. I'm just leaving these ends open and not dirt filled backfilling them just yet until I get everything connected, and I want to test these out and make sure we don't have any leaks. And now it's time to get over here and install this liner to the faceplate of our skimmer. And once I finish that, I'll get over there and do the same thing to our filter falls. Okay, first thing you want to do, I've already cut the underlayment back from the front of the face of the skimmer box. And now I've got to begin pulling this liner back and folding it back over the skimmer box. So that should be the water line about right there. And once you've gotten your liner up here in place, keep in mind, you do not want to have this very tight. You want to allow slack to be right here in case this skimmer ever settles, or whenever my friend here goes back and begins stacking her rock work. So now that I've gotten the skimmer worked over here in place, I've gotten it pushed down nicely, I've allowed some slack up here. I'm going to take these clips that come with the installation and clip it against the skimmer box. That will enable me to get up here and adjust all this as I need to in just a moment. Okay guys, the new filter falls is fully installed. The skimmer is fully installed, and we are just currently waiting on the water line to get back up to where we need to turn the pump on. Guys, it's about 4 minutes till 10 p.m. and we have been turning the pump on and seeing these waterfalls, and man, they're awesome. But this pump is so strong and the water level has still not yet gotten high enough, and it does start sucking a little air, so we keep having to unplug it. But guys, we're just minutes away now from the water level being high enough to allow this system to run full time. And there is the waterfall running now. You can see, like I said, we've still got about 3 to 4 more inches of water to be added to the pond. And now all of that water is going all over here in the direction towards the skimmer, and you can already see the surface debris going inside our Atlantic basket inside our skimmer there. That's going to make taking care of this pond way easier for my friends. And now you can still hear it right there sucking a little air. But guys, everything is working perfectly. And what a day it's been, guys. I know it's after 10 p.m. and the one-man show is finally over. I'm ready to get in my truck here, get to the house, and get in a shower. Thank you for your time. We'll see you in the next one.